So I don't listen to anyone that doesn't carry a gun about carrying a gun. Same
Mhm.
way as if someone has never drove a car before, I'm not going to listen to you tell me how to drive a car.
Mhm.
Someone that has never, okay, so martial arts, right?
Yep.
Okay, if I've never done any form of martial arts, but I'm telling you, you should throw your kicks like this, right? You know, because you're educated in that field, that I am
Mhm.
an idiot, right? And you can
Yeah.
easily
Okay.
pick up on
Yeah.
that. My
Yeah.
issue is we don't have that in the gun community
Mhm.
because I can't tell through a phone screen that you're an idiot right off the bat.
Mhm.
I can
Right.
if I look into it, but if I just see you posting videos of you shooting and you carrying or whatever it is, right? I don't know what you do for the other 23 hours and 50 minutes of your day. I have
Yep.
no idea, right? Um, and that's an issue that I have is where we
Mhm.
do have individuals that are saying things like they're promoting holsters just because they were given to them for free.
Yep.
Every holster I get, I run through classes, period. Not only do I run through classes, I have my other students shoot and use and try to break just so I can go
Mhm.
back and say, hey, man, yeah, it broke. Like, here's the breaking point, right?
Mhm.
I do the same thing with guns, stuff like that. So we don't know what everybody's intention is. Obviously,
Right.
right, and it's kind of one of those don't ever meet your heroes because they'll let you down,
Mhm.
right? That's happened to me. I'll be honest with you. I wish that I never would have started instructing because
Mhm.
that's happened to me so much. There have been individuals that were like instructor icons to me, and then when
Uh-huh.
I met them, I was just kind of like, you know what I mean? You're all hype, cool. And then there were dudes who I was like, dude, this dude's a jackwagon. And then I
Mhm.
actually listened to him, and I was like, oh no, you're pretty intelligent. I'm an idiot. Sorry, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's the issue I have is I just wish that there would be more honesty with individuals
Mhm.
and I don't want to hear your opinion on something that you do not do, right? Like I
Mhm.
legitimately carry all the time. I've had buddies or people that know me from whatever see me out and about and they'll say, hey, are you carrying right now? Yep.
Mhm.
Like, yep, I am. Oh crap. Okay, you do carry all the time. Like, this is a random check. It's like they're checking
Uh-huh.
me to catch me lying. Another thing is people don't understand how much their opinion matters to uneducated people. Now, I'm not saying uneducated in a derogatory way, but I mean,
Mhm.
it's just what it is. If you're not read up on something, you're uneducated on it, right?
Yep.
I saw someone say something to the effect of Smith and Wesson AR-15s are garbage, and then the person said you should build your own
Mhm.
because you can buy good parts cheaper and build it yourself. Okay, I'm just going to say this. I have built two ARs, right? I have bought completed ARs.
Yep.
You are not going to tell me that some guy who you don't know what his building experience is, you don't know if he even has the right tools to build it, right? That he can
Right.
build a gun better than Smith and Wesson. I mean, that blows my mind. But now this jackwagon has told
Mhm.
this dude, hey, don't spend your money on a $600 AR that's tested, that's built, that has been put in hands of individuals long enough that we can see how good of a rifle it actually is. Hey, just go build it yourself. I don't know your education level.
And don't forget, it comes with a warranty as well if it breaks.
Okay, well, we get into warranties later, but exactly, the factory does cover it, right? My thing
Mhm.
with warranties is warranties don't help you if it breaks when you need it the most.
Right.
So, like some companies have like 100% awesome warranties, right? Like
Mhm.
Vortex has a VIP warranty to where if I smash that optic, they'll fix it. They'll just
Mhm.
send me a new one. That's awesome, right?
Yep.
Doesn't help me if that optic doesn't work in a self defense situation.
Mhm.
So warranties are good, right? That
Yep.
makes me want to buy things. But if the product sucks, the warranty doesn't help the product from sucking. That's just my opinion with that. But
Right.
and that's kind of the thing. Is just know your audience and know the education level that you're speaking to when you give statements like that. And also
Mhm.
when you say things like built ARs are better than factory made ARs, I immediately start questioning your training experience right out the
Mhm.
gate. Now, are there individuals that they've done it their whole life or they've taken armor's courses and they know how to properly build them? Yes. And they
Mhm.
make awesome ARs, right?
Yep.
But I'm human. I make mistakes. I don't have a quality control group of
Mm-hmm.
people at my home to double
Right.
check my work. They do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It also hurts a whole lot less when I buy something and, like you said, it has a good warranty, and I
Mm-hmm.
notice an issue and I can just get it fixed immediately to
Yep.
where I did it. And I can't blame anyone but myself.
Nope.
So, but yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion?
Um, so going on with that, it's kind of like with the internet, everybody has an opinion, and I'm kind of also gonna kind of roll this into what we were talking about when I was talking to you about keyboard warriors. Um,
Where's
Everybody feels compelled. Like everybody forgets that everybody's entitled to their own opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but you also don't have to attack that person based on their opinion.
Hold up,
So
hold
the
up.
one,
No. If you say press checking is good, I'm
no,
going
no, 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 no,
I'm
no,
going to physical. I'm joking.
no, no.
I was making
But
a joke. I was making a joke. Absolutely, absolutely.
but going off of the one you posted on your story the other day, the guy made a comment about you having your red dot on your pistol. He said red dots look effing stupid. Just
Yeah,
take it
watch
off.
the words, language.
I'm quoting. I'm quoting what he said on the comment.
Quote it censored.
Bleep stupid
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the Glocks, and I was like, so are you basing it off of the aesthetics that you don't like red dots on the guns, or you're saying red dots just suck in general? Because both comments are really stupid. So more in the sense, because now he's looking at form over function in that sense. And then just like everybody else on the internet, they'll talk about like, oh, your reload was stupid. You should have did it like this. Or, hey, you didn't get off the X fast enough. And I was like, well, we don't know if the X is 500 feet from the nearest point of cover. So yeah, I didn't move fast enough because I just stepped off the direct line of the bullet. But more so just everybody's entitled opinion always feels like they have to comment. So that's just more so my issues. One thing is like, you don't agree with somebody's opinion, that's cool, but don't attack somebody just based on because they don't agree with your own opinion, because you may have it supported by facts, but it may not be factual, if that makes sense.
Yes. Here's my kind of thought process going off of that is
Mm-hmm.
when you see a 10-second, 30-second post, whatever it is, right? But you
Mm-hmm.
just see shooting and you don't hear the whole explanation.
Yep.
Like a long time ago, I had posted a video of doing some shooting, and I had those barrels, those drums that we have out at the range. I
Yeah.
stacked them up, and I was, prior to filming, I
Mm-hmm.
explained that, hey, this is a hallway, or hey, this is a whatever it is, and we're
Mm-hmm.
rounding a corner, right?
Yep.
Um, and this dude commented on there and said something like, oh, that's not how you what did he say? Oh, that's not how you would work through cover. You go to the other side and da 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 da. I said, well, okay, I'm rounding a corner, and on my 40 acres of shooting land, that's what I have the capability to do. Go back to your indoor shooting range where all you can do is shoot a 10-ring target and tell me about your training experience and what you have to deal with the environment. Okay, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry I don't have a shoot house. I'm sorry I don't have hallways out there, right? But I'm dealing with what I got to deal with to
Mm-hmm.
put it in the student's mind.
Yep.
What bothers me is the amount of people that will attack something that they
Mm-hmm.
don't even understand. Like, I would have
Yep.
just, hey, what's the point of this drill? If it wasn't already explained, hey, what's the
Mm-hmm.
point of this drill? Hey, is that supposed to be used as cover, or are you using that as a hallway?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's going to 100% not make you look like a jackwagon, and I'm 100% not going to blast you for it. But what I think is funny is when people make stupid comments, I will either not respond, or I will respond and post it so other people can laugh about it.
Mm-hmm. Right. But don't forget, everybody's an expert nowadays because we got
Exactly. And
YouTube.
I'm not doing it in a malicious way where it's like, hey, let's all laugh at this guy because he made an uneducated comment. He just needs to be educated. When you choose
Mm-hmm.
to go out of your way to be derogatory,
Mm-hmm.
rude, and show that you're uneducated, I take that as my opportunity to show others how not to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. That's the nicest way I can word it. But I mean, that's just how I feel about it. Is if
Mm-hmm.
you see something that doesn't kind of match, go with the smell test and maybe this isn't right. Ask.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like I saw a video where a dude was talking about, since you mentioned it, getting off the X, and he moved like 3 feet and then he
Mm-hmm.
stopped and he shot his whole magazine. Okay, well, we covered it in our class, and I cover it in videos and things like that. That
Mm-hmm.
is not getting off the X. every time you shoot, you've now created a brand new X.
Mm-hmm.
So we should continue to move.
Yep.
Like and also, I haven't seen every single gunfight video in the world. Most gunfights where the people win, it's due to the movement.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's very few gunfights where people win that just stood still and didn't move at all. So
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend let's move. I think we can all agree it's very easy to shoot a still target that's not moving at all.
Yep.
It's very hard to shoot a target that's moving.
Mm-hmm.
And that is moving in maybe a pattern or a speed that crap. You know what I mean? We're not doing that. Now put in the target that's moving is shooting you.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, so that's how I feel about that. Is I disagree. I disagree with a lot of stuff I see. Like we talked about press checks. I'm not going to now attack your entire mindset because you do one thing I don't do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're all going one way. We're just taking little side routes to get there. Is a press check going to cause life or death? I don't know if it'll cost you your life or death. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Is carrying with if you carry a red dot, is carrying with your red dot off going to cause life or death? I don't know, but I wouldn't do it. If I'm carrying with a red dot, the red dot's on.
Right.
If I'm carrying a red dot, should I have sights that I can see if the red dot goes down? Yeah, I should. I shouldn't run a red dot and take off my iron sights. That's silly. You know what I mean? Also, what's silly is people that talk about, well, you need to have suppressor height sights, or you need to XYZ if you carry with a red dot. But what they don't expect to happen is have their lens break on the red dot. Because if my lens breaks on the dot, can I still see my iron sights?
Probably not.
So
maybe. You might be able to. Who knows?
I don't know. I'm doing a quest and a little torture testing with some red dots on pistols. So far, I haven't had any lenses break, but that's my only question that's kind of making me stay away from putting it in the everyday carry, is having it. Whereas, man, can I guarantee that if I get in a car wreck right now? And that's something, too, people don't think about when it comes to carry. They only think about gunfights.
Yep.
They don't think about the rest of their life, like everything else you do. If I get in a car wreck right now, can I access my gun?
Yep.
Well, if you're a jackwagon and you put your gun in a center console while you're driving, or if you put your gun in one of those car-mounted holsters, where's your gun going to be? I don't know. But what I do know is if the gun is on me in a car wreck and I'm wearing a seatbelt that aids in helping it press up against me, it's probably still going to be on me.
Yep.
That's my opinion. I don't know.
Or do people keep it in the trunk while they're driving?
No one does. No one does.
Just because.
Well,
it's safer back there.
Yeah, that's good. Safer for the bad guy. That's good. Watch out for his safety. What's something else that gets me is individuals that, well, I want to be able to, have it so if I need to run into somewhere real quick, I can leave my gun in the car. Why? Where are you going? What are you doing that we're leaving our guns play? I get okay, you go through a metal detector. Got it. But this is a lifestyle. This is something that I'm going to be honest. I don't by choice put myself in situations where I can't have a gun on me. And is that boring? Does it suck? I don't think so. I think I have a very eventful life. But I don't go places that I have to give up the right to defend myself to go to. That's just kind of how I am. Now, when I was in Kansas, they had a whole shopping area that was like a gun-free zone or whatever, and I carried 1 or 2 guns every time I went there, right? Because that's what I carry all the time. Well, a bunch of my buddies would say stuff like, "Man, aren't you worried about getting in trouble?" And I said, "At the most, I'll get a misdemeanor. At the least, I'll get congratulated by everybody." And then they were just kind of like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, it's okay." I'm not worried about. You can't promise me that if an active shooter situation happens, or if a robbery, whatever it is, right? Some horrible situation happens and you stop it. I don't know a legal entity that is going to pursue you, but I do know a lot of legal entities on the Second Amendment side that'll defend you. So that's kind of how I feel about it. Is how much is your life worth? If your life is worth putting your gun up every time you want to go eat because the restaurant says don't carry a gun in here, that's your decision. Cool.
Yep.
Awesome. My life is worth a whole lot more than that.
Mm-hmm.
So you do what you want to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and it's fine. Okay. But that's the issue too. Is we just can't have that agreement to you can do whatever you want. I'll do whatever I want. Let's just not force each other to do what we don't want to do. That's an unheard of thing in today's world. I mean, we don't have that. Like if I think one thing, you have to think the same thing I think. And
or you're racist, or you're prejudiced, or you're bigot, or whatever. Yep.
But those same people make fun of socialists, and you know what I mean. Like they make fun of all these other people that are they have one train of thought.
Yeah.
That blows my mind. That blows my mind. What is your definition? I'll ask you this.
Okay.
It still goes on this social media influencer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When you decide, hey, I'm going to start carrying a gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
What criteria do you have for that pistol for you to carry it?
Ooh. Okay. So one, it has to fit in my hand, and I don't mean it has to be a small gun, but I mean it just has to feel right in your hand. Like if it feels awkward while you're holding it, you're not going to be very good, especially if you train with it and like, this doesn't really feel right. So it has to feel good in the hand. I don't want to say it can't be too heavy. Obviously, if you can't lift the gun, you probably shouldn't carry it. But more so, you can carry the right gun. You got to have the right equipment, like i.e. the right belt and the right type of holster to hold it. I prefer 9mm as my carry round because it gives me capacity, and shot placement is all that really matters. You don't have to worry about the caliber of the bullet. And then has to have night sights for my carry gun. And then let's see, good fit, night sights, 9mm, and it's really all I look for in it. It's really just my perfect gun. I don't really have a length, like, because I carry full size. I have full size 9-11s that I carry sometimes, but more so that's just what I look at. So good fit. It shoots. You know what? Reliability. I forgot. It has to be a reliable gun. So proven reliability either through training or just a repo brand, not like some home build that you got from Dave's Garage down the street. But something that you're also like you're well versed in, like you understand the mechanics, you understand like the action that takes place, you know how to work it. If it has a thumb safety, you know how to utilize that, you know how to deactivate it should you need to. Just something that you're really comfortable with. So it just has to be a good fit for you. At least that's what I look for in a gun. And what about you?
Okay, so what I will say is when we say fitting in the hand, right? You shot a lot. So when you say that you can go to a gun store and pick a pistol up and know from right there how it will feel while shooting, I would trust your opinion with you being able to do that.
Yep.
What a lot of people do is they'll pick a gun up at a gun store and they do not have that experience.
Right.
And they'll say, oh, I like the way this fits. Then they'll go shoot it and they'll be like, oh, I don't like the way this recoils. Right? Yeah. Like they'll go get a revolver. Here, let me see if I can grab this. They'll go and get a revolver, and this is a Model 10 police trade-in here. But they'll go get a revolver, and they'll be like, "Oh, this feels great in my hand." Well, then it's a 44 Magnum, so then they'll go and shoot it at the range, and they'll be like, "I should pick something else. I should not have done this, and this is a horrible idea." So that's my kind of thing. Is you go if I'm looking for a gun and I have never shot it before, I'm going to ask people, hey, what do you have? Have this gun? Can I go shoot it? Maybe go look at a gun range. But I've shot enough to where I'm not really buying new guns anymore. Well, I say that, but I am buying new guns. But they're normally the same platform of a gun that I've already shot. I don't care. Like, I know how to manage recoil. I'm good. And I'm not buying a 1-inch 357 Magnum or something crazy to shoot crazy loads out of with small grips. Like, I know, okay, if I get a small gun, I need to have a better grip with it or whatever it is. Another thing that I'll look for is if I do decide, hey, this is a gun that I want to purchase for the intended purpose of carrying, it has to pass a 1,000-round training test. Meaning, I don't care how long it takes, but 1,000 rounds, preferably 250 of those rounds being your hollow points, whatever you want to carry in the gun. But running it through drills, not just going out to the range and just shooting 1,000 rounds and saying, okay, we're good. Running it through drills, clearing it from a holster, going through, shooting from 25 yards and in. How fast can I shoot? What are, stuff like that. That's what I look for. And once I kind of meet that, that's where I'll decide, okay, hey, I feel comfortable carrying this. Now, if it can't go 1,000 rounds without a malfunction, that's a problem. That's a big problem. If it has malfunctions right out of the box and I can't immediately identify why, that's a problem. So, and the more you pay for a gun, the more it hurts when it malfunctions. But so that's what I kind of do. But like I've been shooting enough guns to where I'm honestly at the point to where if I buy a Glock, I have no issues with putting lubrication on it, loading it, and carrying it.
Yep.
And that's just kind of how I feel. Is I know how to do functions checks on a Glock. I know what to look for, what not to look for, and how to tell is this in proper functioning order. That I don't need to go immediately shoot my Glock at the range to know that a Glock 19 works. I don't have to do it. Now, if it is a gun like my 1911s, right, your 1911 has to be, to me, to carry it. And I carried my 1911 every day for a year. It has to be broken in. And that's just me. I would not take a 1911 out of the box, lubricate it, and carry it. Because how do you go 100% certain that the magazines you have work correctly with your 1911? It took me – Wilson Combat is just my go-to 1911 company for magazines. I'm not carrying any other magazine for a carry mag than a Wilson Combat.
Yep.
Period. And I have trust in Wilson Combat that I might not even need to go shoot them. Like I'm at the point now where if I got a brand new Wilson Combat mag, I'm just going to load it because the one I have is at over 2,000 rounds through one mag. And I haven't cleaned it, and I have zero malfunctions. And you see where I shoot at.
Yep.
How much sand is up there?
There's a lot.
How much dirt?
It's a bunch.
And I throw my magazines. Well, I throw my guns and my magazines on the ground. And it still works. So, hey, that's what passes the test for me. What I hate hearing is individuals say, well, I bought a gun because I saw it on so-and-so's YouTube channel. And they don't understand, and this kind of is don't meet your heroes, but they don't understand what the reviewing process really is, right? I had a company that was going to send me some pistols for T&E. But the process of, it's just like, it got to the point where I was just like, I don't want to do this. Like like you have to speak nicely about it. You have to you get it for 2 weeks and then it has to be, then you return it on this day. You have to do a minimum of this many posts. You have to do X, Y, or Z. I'm not going to do it. And it's just kind of, if you give me too much paperwork, I'm not doing it. So it could have been you keep it. And it's just like, dude, this is too much. Like, I'm not signing 36 pages of crap. You know what I mean? No, it wasn't 36. I think it was only 3. But 3 is too many for me.
I got you.
But they get their pistol in, and they only have it for 2 weeks. At the most, let's say they shoot 500 to 1,000 rounds. Well, that's great for those 2 weeks. But how do you know 2 months from now the gun's still running?
Right. You don't.
How do you really know how the gun's carrying? Because the only time you're really carrying it is when you're filming. That's another issue is when people recommend holsters, when they recommend certain styles of stuff, what are they really basing this off of? Before I recommend a holster, I put in time of carrying it, of going places with it on, making sure, like, I put it through a test. I don't just put it on, take an Instagram photo, and say, hey, buy this holster.
Yep.
That's irresponsible. Like, that's crazy to me, right? How do you know that this works? And a test that I do with my holsters is when I'm out on the range, I will take the holster off with the gun in it, hold it upside down, and then I'll just toss it. Did it stay in or not? That's what I look for, right? I'm not saying other people need to do that, but I've seen some holsters that, they have retention screws, but their retention is garbage. And the guns come flying out. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, make sure the gun's safe when you do it. This is probably going to get clipped, and people are going to say I was an idiot.
He's like, he said, throw your guns, see if it stays in holsters.
Yeah, hey, throw your guns. Make sure they do stay in holsters. I'll say it then. Throw your guns. Make sure they do stay in holsters. Do you want to drop your gun for the first time when cops tell you to, or do you want to know how to properly drop your gun?
Mm-hmm.
And let's think about this, right? I saw this in a shooting class. Someone talked about if you get shot in your hand, transitioning to your other hand and immediately shooting. And I'm thinking, whoa, if I get shot in my hand, I'm pretty sure I'm dropping the gun. Like, you know, I'm just going to say worst case, I'm not going to get shot in the hand and be like, ow. And then be I'm like, no, I'm going to drop it. I'm going to say something that's going to offend my family. And then I'm going to pick the gun back up and, you know, or not pick the gun back up and get in a crap situation, right?
Yeah, there's a chance.
But I wouldn't want to train thinking that that's going to be a reaction to something like that. So one, I think being able to know how to drop your gun and how to pick it up are very important. And the reason why is through training.
Yep.
Wow. So I have seen people in training, they were shooting their gun and they dropped it. And they yelled, oh, crap, and then they stepped backwards. They weren't scared of the gun while they were shooting it. But as soon as it hit the ground, that's when they were scared.
Because they didn't have control of it anymore.
And they're
the gun might turn on me.
Hey, whatever. Yeah, it might grow Mike Bloomberg legs and turn around and shoot you. So he's a great, horrible person. Yeah, people thought I was going to say something I wasn't going to. Psych. No, so that's something is when they don't know how to react to things, they're going to default to their highest level of education. Well, at the time, the highest level of education that person had was to, oh, crap, like, hey, I dropped my gun, right? Whereas I'm at the point now where if I drop a pistol or I drop a rifle, I'm picking it up. Like there's not a misstep with that. Like, oh, hey, I dropped my pistol. Well, hey, I need to pick it up. I need to do so correctly. I've also seen individuals where they were moving or whatever it is and they lose a grip on their pistol or on their rifle. And as the gun is falling, they attempt to grab it. And for whatever reason, as humans, we like to grab things by the trigger, and it ended up discharging around. And this was at someone else's training course. So I was kind of, oh, that's great. You know what I mean? This is wonderful. Where what I teach, what other people teach is if the gun's falling, just let it fall. It's a whole lot easier to pick it up from the ground where I know it's at than try to catch it in the air.
Yep.
Okay, this isn't a Western movie where we're flipping it up, catching it, and shooting you in the head at 55 yards, one-handed on single action. Okay, This is real life. So I wouldn't want the first time I do something to be tested. And that's just kind of how I view my whole training process is I want to give as many answers to the test as possible while we're studying for the test. That's what training is. We're studying for the test while we're training. And when we get put in those test situations, I want to make sure we had enough study material to get us through there without doing a brain dump, in the middle of the test. So, well, what's a closing question you got?
All right, closing question. All right, this is more so, this just pertains to you. It's how and why did you get into firearms instructing? I want to know that. Really, I'm more interested in the why you chose to pursue it. Like what turned hobby into passion into career?
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. As much as people aren't gonna agree with this, I don't like talking about myself. So if we can, if we could change it, no. So what how I got into it? I've always grown up wanting to know more about shooting, wanting to know more about firearms, things of that nature. After joining the military, that only blew up, right? The reason where I kind of stepped to the side and said, why do I want to start training, right? I saw the wrong stuff getting taught. And it bothers me, and this has always been a trait I've had, is seeing the wrong thing being done or being taught, and no one's correcting it. Because no one wants to fight against the grain, or nobody wants to just say, like, hey, that makes no sense. right?
Yeah.
I have never had a problem in my entire life with doing that. So with the firearms training side is I took some courses and I just saw some stuff that people were teaching and I was just like, dude, you're wrong. Like, this is not right.
Mm-hmm.
And you like someone else needs to explain this because this is incorrect. So
Yep.
I kind of took that and slowly started working within my like inner circle of friends where they would
Mm-hmm.
say certain things, right? Like, hey, do you think I should buy this 3-inch 1911 from XYZ company and carry it every single day? Well, no,
Mm-hmm.
I don't, because a lot of those have issues. If you're going to get a 1911, I'd look more at a Commander or at a government model size, or I do X, Y, or Z, and then what magazines are you using? And they're like, crap, I
Yeah.
didn't know any of that. Okay, well, let's go to the range. Well, then
Mm-hmm.
I started going to the range with my buddies, and it turned into I'm not shooting, I'm teaching them how to shoot,
Mm-hmm.
because they would be like, crap, hey, how do you do that? Hey, can you teach us how to do that? Yeah, I guess. Crap. Like, I'm just here to shoot 50 rounds, man. Like, or,
uh,
whatever it is. Like, I just want to shoot a little bit. Leave me alone. But I just find enjoyment in that. I like
mm-hmm.
knowing that the stuff that I've taught is affecting people positively. And
Mm-hmm.
what I kind of live by is I don't care what I'm remembered by personally by my actions. I really don't care about it.
Mm-hmm.
I care more of who remembers me. And when I say that, what are the character of the people that remember me? And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's something we should all look at. I don't care what I've done. I don't care what I do in the next 20 to 100 years or whatever I live, right? I don't care.
Right.
But what I do care is the individuals that I have been able to affect.
Mm-hmm.
How important was from me affecting them has that made them, right? And what I mean
Right.
is, how many gunfights have they won due to something I've taught? How many gunfights have they been able to avoid because of
Mm-hmm.
something I've taught? How many
Mm-hmm.
of the active shooter classes I've done have we identified a threat and stopped it before it took place?
Yep.
I care about that more than I care about what companies work with me, how much money I make, or how many followers I have on something. I just know that or at least I think
Mm-hmm.
that I have a well-rounded education that is kind of missed in
Mm-hmm.
today's world. And
Yep.
I just want more people to be able to see it, and obviously give me more opportunities to learn from that as well, because I don't know everything, right? I've been doing this now. I've been doing this for about 4.5 years. Well, I would say in about 4.5 years, there are some cases where I'm rivaling individuals that have been doing it for 20.
Mm-hmm.
So what can I do 10 years from now? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where my mind is at. So that's the how. That's obviously the why.
Mm-hmm.
And what I think is important is why do I continue to do it, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting paid for this, right? I'm not getting
Right.
whatever it is. It's more so we can eliminate people doing the wrong thing and thinking it's okay. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where, hey, I will go take free time that I have. I'll go do whatever to do this. If you noticed, right, and you've taken
Mm-hmm.
other courses other than mine, right?
Yep.
Okay. When the course was done,
Mm-hmm.
did I get in the truck and leave and tell you to have a good day and force you off the range?
No.
What did we do?
You actually stayed and we shot more.
And I didn't charge for that.
Nope. Did not
And
charge for
how? And did you still learn things afterwards?
it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. When you were off the clock, still learning.
Okay. In my opinion, I truly think that is the difference between somebody who's doing it to better a community and
Mm-hmm.
someone doing it for money. Because I've seen it where, and I get other people are busy and stuff like that, but I've
Mm-hmm.
just seen it to where it's like, okay, the class is until 4, it hits 4, get out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
it's like, man, I didn't get to ask this question, or I didn't get to like show you this or go through this because we just didn't have time in the course curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm leaving this $600 or whatever course, however much it is, and none of
Yep.
my questions aren't answered. So that's just kind of what I think. What
Mm-hmm.
what do you think? We'll go with that. What do you think?
So it's kind of funny how you were talking about like, so what drives you to go there? And I think that's the difference between you and this isn't just like an effective teacher slash instructor versus everyone else that's out there. is you have genuine concern for your students, knowing that the skills that you teach them, they may have to use. And that's the same mindset, because before where I'm at now, I was up in Quantico teaching at the Martial Arts Center of Excellence, where my job was to make martial arts instructor trainers who went out to train martial instructors who taught all the Marines out there. So my kind of driving factor was there is like, I'm teaching you something because you're training other people how to teach them. And then I'm teaching you life defending skills, and I don't want to teach you wrong, put you in the wrong environment. And then because I failed to teach you correctly, you're now in a dangerous position. And also just knowing that you're going to be a reflection of like the quality of instruction that I've given you. So if I'm hot garbage, they're also going to be hot garbage. Also might just put them in danger themselves, other Marines, their family members, friends, people on the street. And I don't want them to be in that position. So I think that's the real thing that makes instructors a little bit different, besides, effective delivery skills, effective communication skills, to make sure students are comprehending their message. But just, have a passion for what you're doing and have a genuine concern for the retention of your students. Make sure they're effectively apply the skills that they've been taught. Because like you said, there's a lot of those 8 to 5 or 9 to 4 instructors, like as soon as the clock is like, all right, guys, I got to go. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all welcome to stay. Don't call me if you got questions. So that's what I really appreciated just from yours, because I know, and that was all day. So I think we started at 9, finished class at 4, and then we still kept shooting to about 7 or 8. So it was a full day thing, and it was constantly learning throughout. There wasn't a whole lot of downtime. And I think that's what it's just, and you also made yourself available. Now a lot of instructors, like, they may present like, oh, if you guys have questions, leave them down in the comments, email me, message me. But then when you talk to them, it kind of seems like they're talking from a pedestal and they're kind of looking down on you the entire time. It's like, oh, like, why don't you know this? Or why are you asking me this? Or, hey, just do this. It worked for me. It should work for you as well. So it's just taking that genuine interest in your students. So I think that's what helps drive your ability to teach, and also makes you better. Because like you were mentioning earlier, you realize you should never admit it to your students, like, oh, I shouldn't have taught that. But in your head, it's like, I didn't really do that as effectively as I could. What could I do to enhance that, or maybe do it a little bit better next time so it reaches somebody else? So it's also a constant desire to want to improve yourself, not just improve your students, but also improve yourself for your students' benefit. It shouldn't just be like, oh, I want to gain a large following, or I want to get paid to be able to show off this holster or show off this whatever. But it's just a genuine ability or desire to want to improve those around you. And I think that's what's going to help build up the 2A community. Because honestly, right now, my personal assessment, the people in the gun community, it's cutthroat. So you have people on one side trying to build other people up, and then you got those keyboard warriors we were talking about trying to break people down. So I think that's the kind of challenge that we're kind of facing in today's kind of day and age right now. That's just how I personally feel about it.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's a lot like dealing with a bunch of high school kids. I get a lot of people that message me or whatever, and they'll say stuff like, well, I disagree with this, and this. Okay, we've never taken a course with me, so how do you, how can you tell from one post everything I teach? That just kind of blows my mind a little bit. And then another thing is, I've definitely had those instructors. I get hey, it's busy. I got it. I work full time. I do this for fun. Yep. But as soon as we get done with this, I'm working on stuff, right? If you can't take care of the people that are taking care of you, what are you doing this for? So if I have someone who I've trained with or wants to train with me, or just my purpose of being here, I think, is to make people, not stupid. Okay. I don't mean that derogatory, but I want to rid the world of stupid gun stuff.
Right.
If every time you message me or comment to me or something, and I'm just a butthole about it, right? And I don't answer the question that you had, now you're going to continue to do the wrong thing over and over and over. And now, if someone recommends, hey, come to my class, or hey, come learn from me, or whatever it is, you're not going to, because of that one bad situation. So that's how I view it. Is it's kind of like being in the customer service world. If I'm trying to in turn sell a product, why would I go after individuals on a negative side, wanting to know more about the product?
Right.
So that's kind of how I feel. I thought this was great. We'll definitely, I'll get this all posted, and we'll do this more. Do you have anything to add?
No, just thanks for having me. Like, I enjoyed it. I didn't goof up as much as I thought I would.
No,
So
you did fine. Yeah, no goof ups. It was all me. You left it all for me to goof up, which I greatly appreciate.
Mhm.
So it's good. I don't think we dropped any curse words, so that's
Okay.
fantastic. That's
Yep.
good. Okay, it's -5 if we did.
Hmm.
So, all right, man. Well, hey, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in for this. You can comment down in the comment section if you have something you'd like to add. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. If you didn't like the video, give me a thumbs up anyway. It's a nice thing to do. As always, guys, stay tuned for more. Sarge out.